Welcome back into Around Our Nation. We're heading over to the Pac-12 where Chip Kelly returns to his old stomping grounds. A massive game to establish a front runner in the race to the Pac-12 Championship Game. Not the first time Kelly has returned to Eugene since orchestrating Oregon's turnaround a decade ago. It's his third time back, but this matchup by far the juiciest. A top 10 battle. The Bruins undefeated on the season and the Ducks undefeated since their season opening loss to Georgia. Let's bring in the guys who know these two teams the best, David Woods and Matt Prehm. Now, guys, it's easy to point to everything we like about these teams, but there's always something to improve. Matt, start us off here. What's the one area coaches are harping on this week?
Yeah, Oregon needs to get significantly better in red zone or third down defense, excuse me. They are one of the worst teams in the country, near the very bottom. They're last in the conference. They gave 9 third down conversions against Georgia week 1. That's kind of skewing the numbers here a little bit, but it's been fluctuating up and down the rest of the season. They went 38% against Eastern Washington, but against Arizona 2 weeks ago, the Wildcats converted almost 60% of their third downs. UCLA is really good in that area. Dorian Thompson-Robinson really good in that area. So for Oregon, they got to shore that up on third down.
Yeah, and for UCLA, it's really interesting because it's sort of the same thing where red zone defense is actually the major issue for UCLA, which is something that Oregon is very good at. They're 13th in the country at converting in the red zone. UCLA is one of the worst teams. They have allowed 12 touchdowns on 17 opportunities for other teams in the red zone. And, UCLA has been pretty good this year at developing a bend but don't break defense. They haven't allowed a lot of explosive plays. But in the red zone, teams have been allowed to score a little bit too easily, and that's something Chip Kelly was talking about this week. They're doing ones versus ones in the red zone in practice today on Wednesday, and we'll see if that comes to fruition in the game on Saturday.
Now, even though you guys are kind of picking on the defense here, they are a lot better than most people nationally might think. Both rank in the top 20 nationally in rush yards allowed per game. David, what's working so well for this squad?
UCLA's actually developed a pretty good defensive front. The defensive ends, Leatu Latu, has been really, really good at collecting negative plays. He's first or second in the Pac-12 this year in sacks, and he's also creating a lot of TFLs. This game in particular is going to be a unique challenge for this UCLA run defense because Bo Nix is such a good runner at quarterback. UCLA is going to need to be better in edge containment in this game than they've really had to be in any game previous. They might have to spy a little bit more than they've done previously. Kane Medrano is a very athletic linebacker for UCLA, could play a key role in kind of tracking Bo Nix and making sure he doesn't make too many damaging plays with his legs.
Yeah, for Oregon, they went into this season expecting their front seven to be one of the better units nationally. It's lived up to that. They've got a star player at defensive end in Brandon Dorless, drawing a lot of attention from NFL scouts. We've also seen DJ Johnson, who kind of assumed the Kayvon Thibodeau role last year at defensive end, edge type linebacker. And then just their linebackers at Oregon, they are really good against the run. Justin Flo, Noah Sewell, Jeffrey Bossa, that trio has done a tremendous job. Now, Flo hasn't played a lot. He's starting to see a little bit of his snap count go up the last couple of weeks, and this is going to be one of those games where we anticipate Flo plays a lot more than he has the last couple. But just up front, Oregon's been very good. They lead the conference in third down or in rushing defense. They're one of the better units nationally as well.
Well, both of these defenses are going to have their work cut out for them because one thing we can expect in this game is some fireworks. Both teams averaging over 40 points a game, 500 yards a game, and that's partly because their quarterbacks, Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Bo Nix, both having career years. Matt, what's the game plan on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, so many people, their perspective of Oregon's offense is skewed from week 1, and obviously so. 3 points against Georgia, but ever since that game, they've been on fire. Bo Nix is having a career season. They've averaged over 50 points per game. The last 5. Nix has thrown 12 touchdowns and just 1 interception since that Georgia game. He's put up career percentage completion numbers. He's thrown for yardage numbers there that are near his best all time in college. And now he's got the running element, which we haven't seen a lot at Auburn. Here at Oregon, he leads the team in rushing touchdowns with 8. He's the first player at Oregon this season to go over 100 yards, and Oregon has a dual threat capability now at quarterback, and I think it's feeding Oregon's running backs, which are producing at a high level, and it softens up that defense that they face to allow him to take some shots downfield.
Yeah, and for UCLA, kind of mirroring what Matt said about Bo Nix, Dorian Thompson-Robinson's playing the best football of his life. No question about it. He's completing about 75% of his passes. He's thrown 15 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. One of them came in junk time 2 weeks ago against Utah. Pick 6 right at the end of the game to humble himself. But, UCLA's offense has been pretty much lights out the entire year so far. They're really explosive, top 5 in yards per play. I think for this game, a lot of this is going to start with Thompson-Robinson's arm, work the edges, see if they can free up a little bit of room in the middle for Zach Charbonnet, UCLA's star running back, who will likely be an NFL player next year. Find him some room in the second half to really get going.
All right, and I got to say, I'm just happy this is an afternoon game. I don't have to stay up late to watch this because this is going to be a good one. And, maybe these teams can kind of change the perception nationally about how the Pac-12 is viewed. All right, thanks, guys, for your time. And for more coverage on these teams and this game, check out Ducks Territory and Bruin Report online.